Hi guys, welcome to my April wrap up. I have read 16 books this month and I have loved it. One of them is an audio book, which was fantastic. Charlie introduced me to that, so thank you, Charlie. Now, I have loved reading, but obviously where I've read so many books, it's going to be a bit hard to get through them all. So if you would like individual reviews, please comment below. I love to get the feedback from you guys. My supporters are amazing, so thank you. Also, guys, I have written about them all on my blog, so the link will be put below. Check it out. I hope you will enjoy hearing more about the books that I've read. Now, the first book I will talk about is the one I did the audiobook for, which is Not Your Average Nurse by Maggie Groff. It's a lovely book. It's a memoir of a nurse starting in the 1970s and carrying on going throughout her time. Now, I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed the fact that she was quite feisty, she stood up for herself, and she stood up for nurses that were treated quite badly in those early days. I really enjoyed this and definitely one to pick up again, guys. So about 4 out of 5 stars, I think. It was quite good. The first one that I actually properly read this month was This Is Going to Hurt by Adam Kay. Now, I love this. Big 5-star rating on this. I have done an individual review on my blog, and it's really good. It's the diaries of a junior nurse starting in 2004 to 2010. It has some really heartbreaking stories, but luckily there's some lighter ones in the mix. But it is very true how hard our nurses and doctors have it. They don't get the respect, they don't get the money, and they don't get any time. They sacrifice so much for us. But definitely a good book, guys. Recommend it. One of the best ones of the year. The next one I read was Jacob's Folly by Rebecca Miller. This is kind of a really strange book. Jacob is originally born in the 18th century in Paris as a Jew, and when he comes back to life, he's a fly. Of all things, a fly. Not really happy about that. But he tries to interlink two people in the current American town. I believe it's around about New York, but I would have to check back on that one. And he decides to try and get involved in their lives. That little ear in the background that we all have. I wonder how many of us would love to have someone trying to get involved. I certainly wouldn't. But it does have dire consequences. This is a 3 out of 5 stars. I find it quite challenging. It went from the past lives to present intermittently, not really at necessarily accurate points, and it brings in erotica at points where it really didn't need to be there. So not one of my best books, really. The next ones I read were obviously the Roald Dahl ones, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and James and the Giant Peach. Now, I have spoken about both of those books before on other blogs. I love Roald Dahl, who doesn't? They're both 5 out of 5 stars. Definitely loving rereading them as a grown-up, as I think it really puts a different take on these books. But yeah, definitely love Roald Dahl. The next one was Memoirs of an Imaginary Friend. This is such a lovely book. Budo is an imaginary friend of Max. Now, Max has, I think they sort of try and say, they imply that he has Asperger's, so I'm not going to say a definite opinion on that. And Budo is trying to look after him. But ultimately there are some challenges that he can't do. And it's really heartbreaking. The power of imagination is so strong and so important. And this tackles friendship, it tackles loyalty, and it's so, so well written. I love this book. Definitely pick it up, guys. Then it was Quidditch Through the Ages. Good old Harry Potter. Who doesn't love Harry Potter? This is the story about Quidditch and the story about how the Golden Snitch comes about. It also tells you about all the Quidditch teams, and I loved it. Definitely some light reading. Anything Harry Potter is always good in my eyes. Then there was Persuasion by Jane Austen. I hated this book, if I'm being completely honest. I didn't like it. Apparently Charlie didn't like it either, so should have learnt that I wasn't going to like it. It's very challenging. Has so many holes in the darn book. Characters that you literally want to scream at, and I got lost. Me, I give it a go, but yeah, didn't like this. The lead character, Anne Elliot, is nice. She kind of has some strength, but when she gives in to people around her and sort of gives up the man she loves, I got so angry. I wouldn't give up my man for anyone. But anyway, definitely not one I would recommend, and I'm hoping that her next book, Emma, is better and I enjoy that more. Then there was Chasing Daisy by Paige Toon. Now, you all know I am a massive, massive Paige Toon fan. I like the way she interlinks her characters from different books. I found 2 in there. Look forward to seeing about the ones you find. Daisy is a welcome girl on the Grand Prix circuit, but she is way much more than that. She has a secret that she hasn't even told her best friend. And when these secrets come about, the world goes a bit chaotic. She's an amazing character. I love Daisy. A total woman after my own heart. She is strong, romantic and lovely. Definitely very recommend this book. Then there was Turtles All the Way Down. This I read with Clint, Kieran and Melanie. We had a lovely buddy read on that. A YA fiction book about a search for a multi-billionaire. But it is so much more than that. It tackles anxiety, depression, OCD, so many issues that we all face. And I think it's brilliant. Asa is such a lovely lady, lovely girl. I could relate to her in so many levels. And definitely one I would pick up again. I would pick up loads more of John Green's books, as I thought he was amazing. I will link my buddies' channels below and check them out because they're fantastic. And I really love their videos. Then there was Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert. Now, I did enjoy this, but it was hard-hitting. Her depression is quite challenging and the way she deals with stuff. Now, Elizabeth Gilbert, this is apparently a memoir, which I didn't know at the time. And when in her early 30s, she faced an early midlife crisis. She wanted to break the mould. She didn't want to be just a wife with children. She wanted to explore the world. And this shows her living her life and going for it. She goes to 3 different countries where she learns 3 different very important lessons. And it is lovely going with her, following her journey and watching her learn. She grows so amazingly and I love this book. Definitely recommend it again and will definitely pick up more of the author's works. Then there was Tin Man by Sarah Winman. I love this book. Charlie recommended it, so she's going to be borrowing it shortly. Now this tackles LGBT issues, it tackles friendship and it tackles true love. And who doesn't love a bit of true love? Now it's gentle at the start, but apparently the author did this deliberately because in the second half it gets deeper and more. I found it quite more interesting, but I did love it. I loved hearing about Ellis and Michael's journeys. Unfortunately, Michael goes his own way at some point, and it's so interesting to find out how and why. And I love this book. Definitely recommend it, and look forward to reading her other book next month. Now, the next one was Shadows of Heaven by Nadine Dorris. Another one that I didn't particularly like. Should have kind of DNF'd it because I found it so challenging. It is set in 1940s in Ireland, and it has apparently supposed to be a romance book, but I didn't really see the romance as much as I saw the darker things. Bit of magical, horrible bits in there, quite a bit of romance, quite a bit of violence in it, which I didn't like, and I found it quite challenging. I won't be picking up any more of her work. The next one was Pieces of My Heart by Sinead Moriarty. This is a chick lit book that I needed after my deeper and darker books. It was brilliant. It's contemporary fiction more than chick litty. There is a lady who, as a mum, she faces so many challenges. She is not just a mum of 2 very different daughters. She is a best friend. She is a wife of a workaholic. And she has a father that's on the loose, trying to relive his youth and being a bit naughty, and she has to juggle all these different pieces. And when her daughter has a major crisis, all her pieces feel like they're sort of flying around in the air, and she has to hold on for dear life and battle against her daughter's trauma. The only thing that that lost it half a star was the fact that I predicted her daughter's trauma quite early on in the book, so it kind of lost a bit of the magic there. But I really enjoyed the way it's written. It tackles issues that happen in day-to-day life quite well. It tackles motherhood amazingly. As mothers, we all know we're always have juggling acts. So I could relate to that part of it. But definitely a book that I would recommend, and I definitely plan to pick up more of Sinead Moriarty's work. Then there was 1,000 Splendid Suns by Khalid Hosseini. This one is one that I have been hearing about on BookTube. I've been seeing in the charity shops. So when I picked it up, I said, Charlie! And we decided to buddy read it together. Buddy reading it with her was definitely made it even more exciting, as it was great to compare views on certain issues that this book faces. It's over the last 30 years, so it tackles Taliban, it tackles the Afghanistan being invaded by the Soviet Union, it tackles so many things. And it brings together two leading ladies, Miriam and I will remember the other girl's name in just a second. Layla. Sorry guys, I've checked my notes sometimes. At first I couldn't get how these two ladies were interlinked, but when they came together it was incredible. Very different, very strong, facing a lot of traumas that no one in the world would like to face. The issues that women faced in Afghanistan is quite hard hitting. The way that the men ruled, the rules that were there, they're very hard. And I found it quite challenging, but still amazing. That's why it did get 5 stars. The writing is so good. The way the chapters are broken up is fantastic. And I definitely can't wait to read his other book, The Kite Runner, which I'm reading in May with Charlie and Clint. So, can't wait to do that. Now there was The Other Berlin Girl. I love this book. It is fantastic. Now, some people say that Philippa Gregory's books are quite challenging, but this one I really enjoyed. It's a lot about siblings. Obviously, the other Berlin girl, Mary, it's her story. How her life gets dictated by her family and how so many of the ladies back then did. She got married at the age of 12, like so many of her peers, and her life is dictated. She has no say in it. And how sad is that? I also found it exciting to hear a bit more about Anne Boleyn. Now, we all know she gets beheaded in the end. We all know divorced beheaded died, divorced beheaded survived. But I always felt sorry for her. But in this book, as the book goes on, you realise there were some things she did that were pretty horrendous. And I would definitely recommend this book to other people. Out of all of Philippa Gregory's books, to me, this one is shining through. And I can't wait to read more of her other work. But guys, there are bits that definitely have warning signs on it. So beware, it's not very light-hearted at all. Although, like I said, the sibling bit is quite funny. Now, currently I'm reading Why Mummy Swears. I'm hoping to finish this by the end of the month because it's such a light, funny book about motherhood. I hate her husband, I hate the husband in it. I really don't like him already, and I would like to smack him around the ear holes and tell him to help out his wife. But there you go. Can't wait. I will tell you more about this book, obviously, in another review, or check it out on my vlog. But guys, this has been an amazing month. I've read some awesome books. I've read some challenging books. But I've definitely enjoyed it. I'm just going to check my notes to see if there's anything else. And nope, I've told you about all of them. Like I said in the start, if you would like individual reviews on any of the books I've spoken about, let me know. Comment below. I can't wait to hear about them. If you've read any of these books and you like them, tell me your opinions. If you like this video, press the ding button, press the like, subscribe to me, tell me what you think. I love feedback from you all. It's really interesting. Hope you had a great month of April reading, and hope your May readings are even more exciting. Bye guys!